Hey everyone, it's Ariana from the blog and here we are, and it is Q&A Wednesday. It's the time that I get to spend sort of chatting with you, answering questions that you might have for me. So today I am answering a couple questions and they're sort of related, so I'm combining them. Janine asked me about how we find the time for all of the sort of fun crafty projects we do at home, like foraging and home brewing and curing meat and all the stuff that we do. And then sort of a related question is from Megan about what our sort of daily life looks like here in England, what our routines are and things like that. So I thought that they went really well together, and I'll also just sort of combine them both as I talk today. So first of all, we have a very slow-paced life here in England, and um, for me, it feels pretty amazing and really different from anything I've ever experienced before. I'm a really driven person, and I tend to make myself super busy doing all sorts of things, whether I need to do them or not. And it's kind of a problem for me. And so, in the past, I mean, when I was going to school, a lot of times I was working two jobs at the same time as going to school full time. It was just really normal for me to be working more than full time, going to school more than full time. And then since I was in Los Angeles, I was also spending hours and hours every day commuting between home and school and work and multiple jobs. So bottom line is that I have this sort of tendency to burn myself out, and I did that. Yay! And so now I'm pretty conscious about what I take on, and kind of realize that, there's only so much of me to go around, and I want to save the best for my family and for the work that I really want to do, and to just enjoy living. So now that we're in England, I don't work outside of the home except for maybe once or twice a week right now, doing some body work, and that is really very part-time. And I do work really hard on my website, and not only just the things that you see, but a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you would never really know about, but it's really time consuming. And luckily, I really enjoy it, and I'm always learning something new from blogging, so it keeps me pretty busy. And and then in addition to that, I'm always, I've got upkeep of the house, and we cook all of our meals from scratch and all that sort of stuff. So I'd say that the demands on my time are pretty good, but at the same time, I also have a lot of space to create room for the things that I need and the things that my family needs. So a sort of typical day, I'll just kind of go with today. It's Wednesday. And this morning I woke up a little early, about 6 o'clock, and took care of some business because there wasn't much going on in the house yet, just kind of checking email and seeing what was up with the world. And Jeff makes breakfast for Amelia and packs her lunch in the morning. And then I take her to her ride share, so it's about a 25-minute walk. And that's a really nice time of day. And I do that 3 times a week. And then the other 2 days, Jeff takes Amelia with him because her school is right on his way to work, so it works really well. So anyway, I got home about 8:15 and just ate breakfast and started getting myself in order. And it's not quite 11 a.m. and I've finished up a couple of posts, and this is my third one, and just sort of taking care of a lot of business, getting caught up on things, replying to emails, working on some projects. So when I get this done, I have another project that I need to work on. And one of the things that I really think is very effective if you work at home and you're trying to sort of balance everything and not get burned out is to use a timer. So I use my phone and I set a timer for 25 minutes when I sit down to a task. And when the timer goes off, I finish up whatever I'm doing, and then I stand up and I do something else. And this is also a great way to sort of fight that sort of habit we get into of sitting forever. So I get up and I usually do some housework in spurts. It's usually 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll wash dishes, do a load of laundry, think about dinner, or obviously I have to make myself some lunch or breakfast. So I just sort of take care of tasks in between longer stretches of working on my projects on the computer. And that works really well for me. And I am the sort of person that will put off doing something if I don't want to do it, or if I feel daunted by it, if the project is too big, or if it's something I feel really uncomfortable with doing but that I have to do for my business. So setting a timer, saying this will be over in 25 minutes is really helpful for me. And if it's a really big project, then at least breaking it up into small chunks and just working on it for 25 minutes, walking away from it, coming back for another 25 is really super practical and has been helpful for me. So there's a little tip for you if you're trying to figure out how to increase your productivity without burning out and sort of balance things around at home. So my day is really self-paced, and I do try to get some good practices in there, either meditation or some time in the garden, or some exercises. I shared before about how I set a timer for exercises. Another thing I set a timer for is to take my frozen liver pills. I hate them, but I freeze little pieces of liver and I take it just like medicine because I can't stand eating it. So another good thing to set a timer for is that sort of health habit that you're trying to work into your life that you really are resistant to. So anyway, Jeff and Amelia will be home at 4:45 today, and then we will go for a walk, and usually try to take about an hour for a walk. And then when we get home, usually Jeff will work with Amelia on her homework while I get dinner going, and we will eat probably 6:30, 7 at the latest, and then every night we eat dinner together, and that is really important to me. We have a good meal, and we just sort of sit down together and we take our time with it. And then Amelia's bedtime is at 8. And a lot of times after that, that's sort of when everyone in the US is waking up and getting on Facebook. And so I like to check in and sometimes do a little work in the evenings while Jeff is doing the dishes. And when he's done and has taken his time to sort of check in with the world or do whatever he needs to do, then we have time to spend together. And usually we'll either watch a show on my computer or play a game. We like to play canasta or backgammon, or we'll tackle a house project or something else. Just depends, but we make time to spend together in the evenings. And then we're in bed by 10, so that's sort of our simple life, and I really do like to keep it simple. I don't really like feeling like we're trying to play catch up or we're rushing places every day, and we've got this, that, and the other thing going on. At one point, I was taking a ceramics class in the evening, and Jeff was taking a French class in the evening, and then he had another kind of group that he was going to in the evenings, and so that was 3 evenings a week, and it really sort of disrupted the flow. So we decided to cut back, and now the only thing we really have going on is that once a week we take a ballroom dancing class, and the whole family goes. It's early enough in the evening that it's not a problem, and Jeff, Amelia, and I all go out there, and Amelia takes a book and she watches or just reads a book, and we go do that. And then that's kind of the only thing. And we have one extracurricular for Amelia, which is drama, and they actually pull her out and do special lessons with her during school hours. So I think that's really perfect because it's just sort of like one more thing. Oh, and the other thing is that we do hire a tutor to work with Amelia once every week or two. So that's something that we make time for as well. And so we keep it pretty light and simple, and that is exactly what I like, because I feel like the sweetest parts of life are just the times that we can sit down and eat together, the walks that we take when we have the longer days in the year. Those to me are just sort of what makes life really good, and I wouldn't want to do anything to take that away from us, and so we do keep it pretty streamlined. And That said, we do have times where things get a little crazy. We travel. Sometimes we don't travel for months, and then sometimes, like earlier in this year, we took a trip somewhere every single month. And during that time, we also had 3 sets of visitors. So for us, that felt a little wild. For others, I know it would just be normal, but for us, it was. And of course, we don't know what's coming up this summer. We don't know if we'll move. We don't know if we're taking a trip back to the US. We have no idea. So we just kind of like to leave some margins to go into the crazy mode of having to take care of business if we need to. So that's pretty much the schedule part of it. And I guess the second part is how do we make time for the projects? And I have to say that there's a misconception about how much time it takes to do home brewing or meat curing or any other sort of projects. You do have to put some time in, but usually the time that you're putting in is actually broken up into segments of 5 to 20 minutes each, and done over a period of a few days. So I understand that doing something like brewing your own wine feels like really big. But it's done in parts, and so none of it really is that crazy of an endeavor. So you should definitely just jump in and try it, and give yourself the time you need on a weekend to get started, because there is a little bit of a learning curve, and usually a little mess cleaning up to do. But don't be daunted to take on a few projects, because they can all sort of be simmering in the background while you get on with your daily life. And really, they just kind of require you checking in every few days, and then maybe taking 5 minutes to siphon something into a bottle, or to rinse a cure off of your ham that you're curing, things like that. So I would say that what really takes the most time is cooking, and we definitely work a lot of time into our schedule on the weekends to go get our food either at the local market or driving out to the farm, and we always have to make a stop at the butcher's. He doesn't work close enough anymore for me to just stop by during the week. It's about a 2-mile walk each way, so I usually wait until the weekend so we can just drive over there. And so we spend quite a bit of time on a Saturday, usually, sort of taking care of business. And, there may be some time spent prepping food and things like that. But we always usually get to take some time for a walk or to do something different during the day as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really curious to see what your priorities are, or to hear what your priorities are in your life pace for your family, and what things you make sort of the non-negotiables for your routine, and which things you let go, and sort of what the sweetest parts of daily living are for you. So thanks for listening, and I'd love to chat with you in the comments, so leave your comments below. And this is fun, and I'll talk to you next week. And be sure to ask me some more questions so I know what to talk about next week. Okay, thanks. Bye.